And hello, everyone. This is your friend Michael Stewart with another Everyday Money Management segment. I trust that you all had a great day and that you fared well. If you are in the southeastern region of these United States, we just had a hurricane come through, and I pray that all is well for you and your family. Well, I'm here with a tip number two for everyday money management. And today we're going to talk a little bit about the value of a family financial review. When it comes down to the finances, not many households have that conversation, and not as often as probably should be done. So let's get right into it. Many businesses fail within their first 5 years. The perceived incubation period, which is generally 5 years for a new startup business, and they fail for several reasons. Two reasons that I want to point out amongst them that seem to reveal themselves more consistently is number one, a lack of available capital. That is always a challenge for new business owners to try to acquire enough upfront capital to be able to really grow their business and expand their business and just sustain it and keep it going. And then there is a lack of adequate business education and skills to manage and grow the business. So it's one thing to have a desire to start a business. It's another thing to understand how business works. What does it take to cause a business to become successful? And what skill sets are needed to properly manage that business and to affect positive growth? And so those are the two things that I seem to notice stands out with many startup businesses and why they don't go beyond 5 years. And I know also from firsthand experience of as an entrepreneur trying multiple things. I've tried several different types of ventures, and I would say honestly that some of the failure of those ventures wasn't that it wasn't a good business idea or business concept, but it was a lack of capital, and it was certainly not having enough business education or the skill sets needed to really manage and grow that business. Now, I personally believe that the same holds true when looking at the family finance dynamics of a household. You may have heard some in the business arena, in the financial arena, compare your household finances as that of a business, and that you should treat it as such. And so to efficiently run a household, the same business skills are needed to run and grow a successful business. It's also needed for effective household management. So, if you have not availed yourself to any business courses to learn how businesses are structured, learn how they operate, learn what the needs of the business are. If you don't understand accounting principles, budgeting, uh, daily bookkeeping, and record keeping, these are all things that are essential to the successful operation of a business. And then when you're talking about trying to grow your business, well, you should treat your household finances the same way. You would want your household finances to grow. And so to do so, it requires certain types of skill sets. And so holding periodic reviews of family finances is is a one-time proven technique that you may consider doing. Reviews are good. When you get a chance to kind of look back and see where you are in terms of where you started. Are you moving forward in a positive direction? And are you accomplishing the things that you have set out to accomplish? So it's a good way also to keep family members informed about changes in the household's financial status. And so again, that goes back to what I said previously. Uh, when it comes down to finances, there aren't many tableside conversations, talking about the household finances, and statistics show that major or the majority of breakups of relationships or divorces has a lot to do with money, either the lack of, or the misuse of, or the misappropriation of. Somewhere in there, money seems to be the determining factor. So here's an example of a checklist that I use to review my family finances. Number one, a balance sheet. I've created a balance sheet that I use, and it shows me the household's overall net worth, and I update it regularly to reflect current assets, after the liabilities have been satisfied. So every 30 days or so, I take a look at it in comparison to what were the monthly expenditures and where are we as a household and available assets, and what is our net worth. Excuse me. A second item on my checklist is income. Now, this calls for some transparency, and some family members don't feel comfortable disclosing all of their financial integrity. But I list all the salaries. I do operate a couple of home-based businesses, and so I list their profits, and I list my stock dividends, any capital gains that I get from my stocks, and things along those lines. And I categorize these things as either regular or non-recurring income. And that's good to know, to have a good idea of what you are bringing in, whether it's on a regular basis or it's occasional. You want to be able to track those things. And then another item that makes my list for review are all of our debts. So in this section, I list all of my personally owned debts, any automobile payments that we have, loans that have been taken out, installment purchases that we're making purchases on things that we've desired to have, and charge account balances, our credit card use. And so that makes the list as well for review. Now, it's best to identify credit lines of each household member. So if you have a partner or a spouse and you're trying to create this list for review for your household, it's good to list individually each person's credit line. Okay. And then also on my list is a current budget. Now, I use that as a spending guide only. Okay. And it kind of helps to assure short and long-term goals and help to ensure that they are achieved. Now, a key to having a budget, some people tend to stay away from developing a budget. They don't even like the sound of the word budget. It sounds too restrictive to them. So a key is keep it realistic, and less restrictive. Just because you have a budget don't mean you can't spend your money on things that you like, on things that you would desire to have. But you do want to keep it realistic and use it as a spending guide. It's a good reminder of what you're trying to accomplish and what is it going to take to reach that goal that you've set for your money. And so that's how I use it. Now, another item that makes the list for review is a contingency budget. Now, this here is something that, some folks don't give much attention to, but a contingency budget is a good idea to have in the event that one of the wage earners loses their source of income or dies. This is where you have to consider, okay, if my spouse or my significant partner is no longer able to earn an income, would we be able to continue the lifestyle that we have established? And so a lot of the things that I was able to do just a couple of years ago, maybe 3-4 years ago, put my household in a position that almost everything runs off of my income. Just about everything runs off of my income. And so that's beneficial. Now, if something were to happen to me, then the tables turn. Because what is put out on a monthly basis, just for my income alone, you know, without a contingency plan, it would be a strain. And so a contingency budget, you know, is a useful tool to have in place, because what it does is it gives you a snapshot, and it lets you see if you can maintain the lifestyle that you are currently experiencing, or if you're going to need to start downsizing and cutting back on some things. So these are some very basic areas that you can begin to review as you are getting your household finances in order. So for my household, I conduct a review every 6 months or so. I revisit my budget. I revisit my financial listings and see where we are. Are we moving closer towards some of the goals that we have? Like I've got a few projects on the table right now that I want to get done, 2 of which I would like to have done by the end of the year. And then I've got a couple of other projects that I'm looking to have done by the middle of next year. And so they have a cost, they become an expenditure. And so having a budget in place and knowing where we are with our finances is a great help. All right. So for every 6 months, I do that. Okay. So this is just to kind of whet your appetite and kind of point you in a direction if you were thinking about, you know, how can I better get control of our household finances? What steps do I need to take to better manage our household finances? And do I really have a clear picture of where we are in our household finances? So in future segments, because I want to keep these short and brief, in future segments to follow, I'm going to cover doing a review that looks more at home ownership, income protection. Some people know that as life insurance. I call it income protection because it actually replaces an income that is lost due to death. Social Security and pensions. We'll take a look at health insurance, reviewing those elements. Other types of insurance. Financial institutions to include banks, credit unions. We'll also review some securities, you know, your stocks, your bonds, your commodity futures transactions, your treasury notes, and other investments as well. We'll review charitable contributions. We'll look at reviewing if you do have a family-owned business or you are a sole proprietor. We'll also take a look at wills, the value of having one in place. And so, you know, those are going to come in some future segments. So today's segment was primarily just to kind of whet your appetite on getting interested in doing a financial review of your family's finances. So that's really all for today. That's all that I have for you today. I didn't want to keep you too long. So I hope that you find this information useful. And if you did find it useful, then please don't forget to click the like button, and absolutely do share this video with your family and share it with your friends, and ask them to tune in. You know, I'm going to be doing these on a regular basis and just giving some little tidbits here and there as we go. And so I would ask that you would also consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. Click the bell to get notified so that when I do post content, you'll get the notification that a new video has been uploaded. And so I want to thank you for watching this segment of Everyday Money Management. So stay safe, be blessed, follow peace.